Hey folks, HTCG here with
Joe McGee.
and we are the Two Dons podcast.
Sure are.
This is episode 4 now.
Yeah, it's kicking on.
It is doing that. But yeah, we're back. These are coming more and more consistent. We've got some cool topics as always.
Yeah,
so
we just dropped, as of recording this, we dropped 3 yesterday. So I hope people like that one. We had a lot of fun with that one.
It was really good. Yeah.
Where, as you can see, we're in a bit of a different location today. We're in our underground secret bunker.
With a cool dragon, which I don't know if you can see on screen.
Probably see his wing.
Yeah,
He's
it's nice.
He's
It's
a big
like
paper mache guy. Yeah.
very homely, isn't it?
There's hints to where we are. Hints to where we are. So today we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to have more of a kind of laid back one.
Yeah.
Because I'm going away at the end of the week, so we've kind of like rushed this one out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we just want to get more content out for you guys.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about the ban list that was just announced. Obviously there's no cards announced for it, but we have a date over in Japan, which I think will be coinciding with the release of OP09. So we're going to talk about what we think is going to happen and then what we want to happen. Because those are two different things.
They are.
We've got a couple of questions from the guys in our locals, which we're just going to kind of talk about. And obviously, if you guys have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments on YouTube and we'll get to them in the future. And then the final topic that we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the recently announced World Championship Series. So Europe has had its 3 venues announced. And
4 European champions.
4 European championships,
Which is
going to be great.
Yeah, obviously, we'll go into it, but like, I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that, and we'll probably start with that one.
Oh,
so,
cool. Yeah.
if there's any more housekeeping you want to get out the way, let's.
No, just thank you for chiming in as always. Like, I mean, the viewers, not you. But yeah, no, it just makes us want to do them more. So yeah, we can crack on.
So let's start with the European Championships.
I am buzzing.
I'm buzzing. I mean, do you want to? Should we like get the cat out the bag straight
What is
away? It's in Liverpool, the UK
it's
one.
It's in Liverpool,
and that's,
baby.
How gassed. Like,
well, there's 2 things to it for me. Is one, it's in the UK. One of them is, and I go as someone who's been I've travelled a lot this year. I've tried to go to as many as I can. It's nice to be able to just book a train and go to the UK. So I saw UK and I went yippee kayak, and then I saw Liverpool and saw how excited you were for that, and I went, don't even need a train. I'll just get the bus from my house or I'll drive in.
The only thing. There is a double-edged sword element to this. Because we had a regional in Liverpool.
Oh, here we go.
Here it comes.
So what happened?
We're not going to hang out. We're not going to hang out the same way we do at a travelling regional. Everyone's going to go home to their own places, and we'll see each other at the events. We'll see each other on the Saturday and the Sunday, obviously. But there's that kind of like camaraderie and enjoyment that you get when you travel, and you go back to the hotel or the Airbnb, and you get food, and you test, and you talk, and you drink, and you know that's one of the things I really enjoy about regionals and travelling.
But I hate Liverpool, Joe. Just Joe in Liverpool, can't stand him. No, I think.
Oh right, yeah, you hate.
I don't hate Liverpool.
Me in Liverpool.
Oh my God, I'm actually.
Imagine. I was about to say.
I'm doing hate crimes for my own city. What I meant is like last time we had one with it, I went like 7-3, didn't I? I missed out on the top cut, and I didn't come for day 2. 1, because I didn't make the top cut, and 2, I was super tilted and tired, to be honest. But you did, so you didn't feel like you had enough people there to support you, and that's fair because if, for example, we're in Utrecht, where one of them usually is based, there would be no reason not to come for day 2 because you're in a different country.
Other than going back to Amsterdam.
Okay, yeah. But I understand where you're coming from that. But at the end of the day too, like, it's really exciting still.
Oh, it's still great. And it's still great for all of our local players because it means that every single one of our local players are going to go to the European Championship because they don't have to worry about a hotel room.
If we can get a ticket. If we can get a ticket.
I'm trying to live in that world. I'm trying to live in that world where everybody who puts it as their first preference gets this ticket.
Yeah.
But that is...
Well, to be fair, like the organisers, the organisers have been fantastic. This past year, it started off as a rocky roller coaster.
If you consider Utrecht January to be the start of the year, that was like tense. That was like, will we get a ticket? Will we not get a ticket?
Well, we were both on the waiting list for that, and we managed to go. But that waiting list,
we didn't get our tickets until 3 weeks.
Literally,
before.
For me, I booked my plane ticket a week before, and that's because I'm done. But like, that was intense. But now we have more events, so there's more chances, and also they've just done another fantastic job of saying which is your priority choice. And there's a higher chance that people who want to go to the UK can, and it means that we're not just getting like bottlenecked like we do for all of these other events, because people are very happy to travel. Like On the notes form, it said like which events would you go to, and I put all three.
Yeah, me too.
Because I would, and I think a lot of people have in the UK as well, because it's like all of them are reasonable to be able to get to. They're quite far away, so the plane tickets aren't too much.
Yeah, especially, and again, I don't want to sort of like divide community into different groups, but those more like competitive players.
Yeah.
You want to go to all three. You want to hedge your bets on a top. You want to do as best as you can.
Especially for Euros and the championships, because the pricing last time was insane.
The pricing has taken a little bit of a hit, as with like all regionals pricing this year, but it's still really good. We looked at it yesterday, and the fact that there is a playmat for top 16 instead of top 8, I think is it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
There is no entry playmat this time, as opposed to there was in Utrecht, which was that lovely AC Yamato playmat.
Do you want to break down that pricing?
Yeah, please, Tom.
I have no idea what it is.
So
Check this out.
participation is you get a championship 2024 pack. You get 2 of those,
Good.
6 booster packs, which is the change they brought in the last set, and you get 1 promotion card. Top 15, you get 2 more event packs. You get 4 celebration packs. Top 2, 5, 6, you get 2 more event packs, 4 more celebration packs. Top 1 to 8, you get 3 more event packs, 4 more celebration packs, and you get a pack of Bonnie sleeves. Don't know what they look like yet.
Cool.
Top 64, you get a top players pack, 3 more event packs, 4 more celebration packs. You get so many packs for this. Top 32, you get a finalist pack, you get more top player packs, you get more celebration packs. Top 16, you get the finalist playmat, as Joe mentioned, you get more top player packs. Top 8, you get an uncut sheet.
Yeah.
So top 8 uncut sheet onwards, that's big.
Now, sorry to interrupt you. It says a season 1 uncut sheet, doesn't it? It
It's-
doesn't say like OPO 8 or
It
OPO
doesn't
7.
specify. It
So
says-
I wonder what that could even be.
It doesn't even say season 1. It says 1 times uncut sheet season. So that could be the current season, meaning it could be 07 or 08 because it's dated
Yeah.
across both sets with the Euros just because of the schedule.
Could be, yeah.
Top 4, more packs. Third place, you get your trophy card. You get your your third place trophy. On top of that, and if you're in Dallas, you get an invite to Worlds in Japan.
And that's the card fest that are coming at the end of the year, right? The
that's
third
different.
place and down, that is
Right,
slightly
so-
different.
That is if you finish third at the Dallas Card Fest.
Right.
You get the invite to the World Championship, but that's only at Dallas. Then for every other Euros, for second place at Dallas, Utrecht, and Orlando Card Fest, you'll get the invite. And then if you are the first place at any of these events, you'll get a World Championship invite. So there's a lot of invites. That's airfare and hotel included, so that's big.
That is big.
In
That
Japan.
is pretty cool. Which will be in Japan,
will
the
be
same
in
as
Japan.
last year, I imagine, yeah. Those prizes sound cool. I mean, those celebration packs are so exciting. We had a lot of fun opening our celebration packs in
And
January.
also, like, not beating around the bush, I made so much money from those.
Yeah,
like
you
on the day from the champion. Like before we even talk about like obviously I did well at the last one, and that was cool, and I got an abundance of them and made money from that. Just the entry prizes alone and being on the day trading for cards was spectacular.
Covered like so much.
Immediately.
Yeah, I think
Within 2 hours,
essentially we kind of paid
Yeah.
for our hotel.
straight away.
Yeah.
Like without question for me, like.
And I went round and I picked up all those Jimbos, which
You
now
did.
seems like a bit of a bad idea because it's getting reprinted in that Doflamingo's
But it
start
looks
to deck.
cool.
But it's got a little stamp. It's got a little stamp, and people lose their minds.
Yeah.
If it ever comes back,
Yeah,
to the
one bit of advice I would give if you're going to these events and you're getting in your entry participation is take your time with deciding how you want to get rid of them,
Yeah.
because you may just be like it's just a prize like entry participation, but at the end of the day, the last time there was no prices for everything.
I'm going to caveat that a little bit. I'm going to say take your time picking things up. If you want to get rid of them,
Yeah,
I'd say do it hot and quick.
I think it comes hand in hand, right? I guess it's like on the day I saw a lot of people like trying to lowball people, but also I saw a lot of people highballing as well
True,
because
yeah.
they just wanted to get them.
But yeah,
So-
there was no prices. But now I think we've got a sort of understanding of the prices of those cards.
I
Because
don't know
of the
because it's
first
new,
one?
but I'm just basically trying to say like keep your head on and be aware that like it's an opportunity to make money, but also it could leave a salty taste on your mouth if you like left it and been like, oh, why did I get rid of a £100 card for tenner? But I'm super excited. So where are the events?
Okay, so there's definitely one in the UK, which is Liverpool.
Yeah.
There's one in Italy, which is Milan. And I think we're going to have to go to the man behind the screen for the French one.
Is it France?
The last one is in France. It doesn't really specify the place. It says PEC Occitania. So I'll try and figure out where the hell that is, but they don't make it easy for you.
Yeah, so pretty spread across the continent.
Yeah.
I'm surprised to see that Germany hasn't got one.
Yeah, me too, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
because obviously No Heroes as well. Like, that's where they're based, right?
Yeah. So No Heroes is based in Germany. Obviously, this isn't something that Bandai really looks at, but the caliber of the German players.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of really.
Well, it's
good
not even
German
that for
players.
me. For me, it's like I thought that the organisers would have more of a decision. So obviously we have OPE based in the UK,
Yeah.
so it doesn't shock me that it's here. We've had a Liverpool regional before.
And I believe
it
that
went
went really
really
well.
well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
Loads
enjoyed
of
that one.
space. Mic system was a lot better than it has been in some of the other places. You know, very easy access and good all around. Happy days. Milan, we've had 3 regionals in the past year and a bit
Yeah,
in Milan, so we know that's tried and tested. Same with France, but I believe we've had more Germany regionals than we have France regionals. So that one shocked me, but at the end of the day, I'm happy. Personally, I would prefer that the Italian one was in Germany just for my own ease to get there,
Yeah, yeah.
because I've been looking at the Milan regional and it's a bit expensive to get
Yeah.
there.
It is also the time of year, though, right?
Yeah.
So Milan right now. When is the Milan regional? Is it next week?
Maybe.
Yeah. So Milan in July. That's like a holiday destination. That's So
Yeah,
maybe Milan in September will be a little bit cheaper.
I think so.
But I think Milan's a cool city. I'm
No, I
glad
agree.
that it's
And
there.
also, you
Because that's
mentioned
one of my things about
Yeah.
regionals is I like it to be in a really cool city, because then if you do badly,
you can
you
explore.
can do stuff. You're on holiday.
You just
haven't-
mentioned as well, like, caliber of players, and obviously the Italian player base is absolutely
Pretty
insane
good,
and
pretty
very,
scary.
very strong. Like nearly, I was going to say triple-digit serials, but more than double digits. Like so many
Definitely
series.
in
Like
the 20s and 30s, right?
yeah, like they have so many good players. So I'm definitely not salty about the fact it's there. I'm happy there's representation.
And that's something like we kind of have been talking about with the preferences, with the
Yeah.
tickets. Do you think maybe we won't see as many continental players in Liverpool if they sort of fulfill the preference orders? We might
I
actually
think
have
so.
like a UK tournament, so it's like the best of the
So-
UK. We won't be competing with those really good German players, and there's really good French, and there's really good Italian players.
So the issue that you have is that they've already confirmed on the Discord that these are 1024 player events. Those continental ones are going to fill up quick. There are going to be players on the continent who are going to want to go to these events who just won't be able to, and
True.
so their only option will be to come to Liverpool.
Yeah.
But also, I think like we have more than 3,000 players who want to join the European Championship.
100%.
And the last European Championship was 2,500 people
And that filled up.
with over 1,000 people on the waiting list.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that is a good
like,
point.
easy.
I-
It was even more than that, actually.
Didn't realise it was 102.
Me too. I thought it was 2K.
I thought it was going to be 2K again.
They confirmed it in a Discord like a couple of days ago.
They
Someone
always
asked
do
a
that,
question,
yeah.
it's not
Expecting
something
me
that's
to look at
super public.
Discord.
Yeah.
Shout out Adam at OPE, he just always answers those questions.
He sure does. Yeah.
Handsome as well.
What a guy. So so I'm excited about the European Championships. Is there anything that you're concerned or worried about?
I don't think concerned. Like, listening to the pricing, a lot of it is very similar to the last year. The top cut, last time it was top 16 you got an uncut sheet, and now it's only top 8, I think you said. So that's again another
Yes, it was.
but we've lost 8 uncut sheets just because.
Do you think that's because they've moved them to the Treasure Cups? Those top 2 in Treasure Cups now get uncut sheets.
I think honestly it's because the tournaments now are smaller. Like just before I knew that it was 1,000.
Yeah.
So you go, we've lost 8 uncut sheets, but actually we've gained 2 more tournaments, which both
Yeah.
each hold 8 uncut. So actually we've gained,
gained
8
eight,
uncut
yeah.
sheets. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah. So it's
when you
actually
look at
really
it that
cool,
way,
isn't
you
it?
go,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense that you reduce the pricing. Before it, I was a bit like, and then you said, oh, actually, it's like half the player base that the last ones were for very similar pricing with better play mats on the line for the top
And I'm
players.
a little bit disappointed that there is no entry playmat.
Yeah,
That is probably a small issue, but that playmat is a nice souvenir to
yeah.
have.
I think I sold mine immediately, didn't I? So I think it's
You
just
did, yeah,
personal
yeah,
preference,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Is it like I've got far too many play mats, as you do, as many players do, but I get where you're coming from. I've seen you play it, and sometimes I still go, oh, I wish I'd kept mine. But then I got like £120
Yeah, and I
for
think
it,
they're
so.
a bit cheaper now, so
Yeah,
swings
you
and
know,
roundabouts.
just buy
yeah,
one
swings
more.
and roundabouts.
Let's talk a little bit about prep for Euros, actually.
Okay, yeah.
What's your mindset? So when are the tournaments? August?
So
Tom going to help us out here behind the screen.
First tournament is the one in Liverpool. That's
Yeah.
the first one in Europe. That's 7th till 8th of September.
Oh, okay.
So that's beginning of September and will be on set 7 still, because set 8 is speculated to come out the week after.
Good news.
Then we will be going over to France, which will be in the 12th to the 13th of October, so that will be on set 8. There's over a month buffer.
That is a big buffer. That is a big buffer.
Huge buffer. So you've got a month to prep on the new set, then go over to Euros, and then the Italian one caps it off 2 weeks later, 26th, 27th of October. So 2 in 08, 1 in 07.
So how are we prepping for that? Let's talk. Let's throw out some hypothetical conditions. We get a ticket to all 3.
Yeah.
How are we prepping for this?
Stressing. Is the word, honestly. I like the fact that I can do one of them in 07 because it means I have all of this amazing prep time, right? But then I don't like the fact that there's a change because I can do all of this prep time for 07 and do really well at one. But if I get in all 3, I feel like I'm going to be scrambling for 08 practice.
Maybe does it feel that the 07 one is going to just have to be like, I know what I know. Like you're going to have to move on to 08 before you normally would. Does that make sense?
I think that would only be the case for me if I had all 3.
Yeah.
If I knew I had 2 that were definitely like solid, like in 08, then I might do that a bit. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like that's something where you can, like last night, I was up till 3 a.m. practicing BY Luffy on the sim. And like, how far away is September? Like, so I don't know. I think it's difficult.
Yeah, I think it's difficult. I think I stress a little bit less than you when it comes to prepping.
Yeah.
I do get option paralysis a bit, and I think a format like 07 is really crippling me because there are too many good decks. I'm still undecided on what the best deck is, but there are too many good decks, and it's like I'm splitting my time currently between like Lucci, Black White Luffy, Law, and even Blue Dofi.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and then there's Bonnie to consider as well, and I'm sort of like, what deck do I take and what deck do I really then put that time and practice? Because I think that's what separates people who like do well at locals and people who do well at regionals is they know the deck they're playing and they really get into the weeds with that deck and they really practice it and they practice it into every matchup and they go, oh, there's a little interaction here that people don't know about and I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the prep would be know your deck.
Yeah.
Know your deck and know its matchups as opposed to whipping and swapping.
Like
couple of weeks before.
You were talking about how wide the 07 format is, and like I'm coming down to a decision now where I was like, at the start of it, I was like that, where I was like, oh my god, I could play anything, and now slowly I went, okay, I don't want to play RP Law in 07. I know that it's a bit too inconsistent for me. I don't like.
Agreed.
I feel locked in sometimes with it. I don't want to play Lucci because I've just spent 4 formats playing Saka, and it just feels like Saka without the ability to draw good cards. And then I was like, what else can I play? I've messed around with Perona, and I was like, it's really fun. It's really solid. I think it'll catch people off guard if you don't know the matchup. Just go face by the way, you'll win. But I don't think it's consistent enough. I think you need to draw.
I think it's quite gimmicky.
Yeah, and I get that.
I think like the drawing is cool.
Yeah.
But you do just draw counter.
I think you get in a hole is the difficulty with it, is you get locked into the idea and Perona of like, oh, I have to do this to draw all these cards. And you'll see sometimes when we're playing where it's like, when I hold all my resources and do it towards the late game, that's when the deck's actually scary.
Yeah.
It's when you think you're about to get it and then randomly I have 11 cards in my hand when you don't have a pudding because you discarded it. And then the other 2 decks that have been on my radar, you just mentioned Bonnie then as well.
Yeah.
And I think Bonnie
went undefeated at a regional.
It did, and I've said this in the last one, but I like when we rated the leaders, I said I think Bonnie's like an L, where it'll start strong in the format, and then people will go, oh.
True. So by the time we
better.
get to Liverpool,
yeah,
people will know the Bonnie matchup.
You should be able to. Yeah. Like, I think it'll still come through sometimes because sometimes it just has it, but it'll become a lot less consistent when people understand it. And then the one I haven't mentioned is BY Luffy, and I'm having a battle with it, but I enjoy playing it.
I mean, you're doing pretty well with it in testing, I think.
I think it's going okay. It's just, it's weird because you look at the deck and it looks very very basic. You do this and over again, but there's a lot of small decision makings that are, like even I'm tripping up on. And
I think I said that last time we talked, is that like I think it's one of those real skill check decks. I think everybody can play, everybody can get the 10s on and drop a Gecko Moria.
Yeah.
But when you have people on 7 Don and they're making their leader 11k and you're going, wait, how?
That's all the cards in my hand.
Yeah, that's
because I misplayed.
I'm in trouble again.
Yeah.
So
cool.
yeah, the format's pretty open, and then obviously OP08 probably kind of like narrows down again.
Yeah.
And I think
because it just becomes Lucci RP, right? And we're not going to have the bans till then, are we?
No, we'll be getting the bans in OP09.
Yeah.
Which we're going to talk about later.
Yeah, we will.
So I mean, anything else on Euros? Because I think we've covered it, and I'm really excited. And I could kind of just get into this sort of like frenzy of being like I'm really excited, and just.
I think the last thing I
Talking
want to talk
circles.
about is that I'm just very happy that we actually got representation for Europe for once.
Yeah, I'm glad we haven't had one event.
I've always been on this bandwagon, and it seems like I'm complaining all the time. But like NA isn't exactly the similar size as Europe, and has 12 times as more tournaments all of the time, and like has a lot more opportunities than we do. So it's nice for us to be able to get a European Championship that isn't just one. Like I can't remember how many they had last time, but they definitely had more than us.
No, they only had one. They only
really?
had one American
maybe
Nats,
I'm just
because
being
that was
dumb.
their like.
We may fall into that trap like next wave though, because it's going to be linked to the card fests.
Yeah.
And we only have one in Europe, which is Utrecht.
Yeah.
So
And
Utrecht
they
may be the
have
big one. They have Orlando, they have Dallas.
Yeah.
But Orlando and Dallas, to be fair, they happened during the first wave. So I'll have to check again like towards the end of the year, but they may end up having more tournaments in wave 2 because I think it's linked to Card Fest this time.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's nice to see that in general. I don't want it to be
definitely.
this like us and them sort of thing, right? A lot of the content creators for One Piece are in NA, and the
I mean, next week I'll be doing my bit to spread relations.
Where are you
across the
going to?
pond. I'm going to Orlando, so I'm gonna be hitting up some locals,
You are?
making some friends, making maybe some enemies as well. If you know, if you,
Jesus, just like going with a war declaration.
you are one of our American viewers, say hello. Don't be shy.
Yeah, but they do so much. Like Americans do so much for the community. I don't think we could
Sure do,
be as
yeah.
strong a community as we are, even Europe side, if it wasn't for all the influence that NA has for us. So it's nice to see acknowledgement that we're taking the game very competitively as much as they are, and hopefully we can do really cool things
Yeah, and
together.
hopefully Team Euro will make a splash, because I think
Again?
they made a bit of a splash last year, second place, right?
Yeah. We got second, and then NA got third, right?
Yeah, I think it was, because
Yeah.
it was really cool spread of the top three.
It was, yeah, it was very varied.
So I think that's good for Euros and good for the kind of World Championship
Yeah.
season. Should we move on to something that's kind of new for the podcast? Everything's new for the podcast, but we're playing around, we're having fun. We got some questions that have come in from our local players here in Liverpool. They wanted to see what we thought about some cool little topics. So
Yeah.
Tom is going to shoot us some of these questions.
Got a few for you. First one from Andy. He says, which is the most underrated card of each colour currently?
So Andy's our master of Yamato.
He is.
Yeah. He's always cooking up a new way to rest your blockers.
He is.
Yeah, he is. So most underrated colour. So should we just sort of like
Yellow.
go in colour, or you want to go yellow? Because I want to do like.
Why don't we say one each?
I would like to do one each. Yeah.
Okay, so yellow.
So you want to go with yellow? Most underrated card in yellow.
What's your thought? Should we say a card each from each colour is what I meant?
Yeah, I think we should do that. Yeah.
I'm going to go with... It's difficult actually, isn't
It's
it?
difficult because you sort of have an idea, and then the whole card pool opens up to you, and you go, wait a minute, what about Nakamura Arrow?
There's a lot of... You loved that card so much in card. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 4-cost Katakuri.
Oh, yeah, cool.
The 4/6 Katakuri that
Yeah.
says on play, look at the top card of your life, and you can move it to top or bottom.
And then
And if you have less life than your opponent, you gain rush.
Yeah, on a
And-
4/6. It's
Yeah, I've always thought it's a really nice body. I've always thought the only thing the card's ever been missing is counter,
Yeah.
and then it would just be in every deck.
I think it would be too good if I had counter.
I agree. But I think every time I've seen it come into play, it catches people off guard. And that's what I like about when we say underrated, that's what it means to me, is when you see a card in someone's list and you go, ooh, that's really interesting. And I think every time I see that with the 4-cost cat, I go, that's probably caught people off guard quite a few times.
I think mine is going to be maybe less of a card that's underrated and more of the archetype and the decks it's used in is underrated. It's the 5-cost Momo from OPO6.
I think that's a good shout,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
I think obviously people know it's a good card, but I think we need to see that kind of Wano package get exploited more. Hiyori and Okiku when they get Momo'd back is just like woo. That's like
It
such
puts
good
you in that
value.
situation where like you've played against Yellow one a bunch of times where they like 8-cost Katakuri, they run Shirahoshi, and then you just don't want to attack life. That Momo does exactly that, but with like a 5/6 blocker at the same time, right? So it's just like cool. The amount of times where I've just like Icarused it so hard against like a Yamato, where I'm like, I've got this game, easy peasy, and then they go, do this,
That new
just step the
bird
thing.
to Icarus.
The Icarus, I'll float too high to the
Yeah.
sun, where I'm just like, I'll burn this double attack wench. This will be easy squeezy. Not a chance this is going to go down.
Yeah.
And then the, like, yeah, Just cook me.
What about pulling a colour on my head blue?
Oh. Mm. I'm going to say the Tenkos Kaido, but the bounce one.
Oh, the bounce. Yes. Yeah, that's a great choice
The
because I
bounce
was
one.
watching someone talk about. I can't remember what deck it was now, but that doesn't really matter. And they were saying, I need a big body, like a huge body that removes. And I was like, we have one of them.
Yeah.
We have one. It removes an 8 and a 3, right? Like,
Yeah, 8 and a 3.
And what's an 8 at the moment in this format? Oh, no.
Moria, Sabo.
Yeah, just
You know,
crazy. That's a good
A
show.
lot of good stuff, and like it's weird because right now we're in such a like removal heavy format where you'd think like bouncing on Moria is always a bad idea because they just get free value, and that's kind of true. But at the same time, a lot of decks aren't Moria, and you just going bounce your entire board back to your hand that have a huge 10 cost, especially in like Boa where you then go and I'll draw a card.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
And then you just have a huge 12k beat stick that a lot of people underestimate and just go, it's only one attack, and then suddenly you go, holy crap, one big attack is a lot of value.
If you pair it with another back to back,
Yeah,
then you've got 2 big attacks.
and then you got 2 big attacks.
Or you play the
It's like a
dragon one and draw
pseudo
4.
10 cost Dofi in a way,
In a way, yeah.
because you kind of just
You
stun your
can't
opponent for a
clear
turn.
the guys,
But you stun it
but
for a
you
turn.
can stop them like doing
It's
anything. Yeah.
big tempo swings, and I love tempo swings. Your choice?
What's my blue card gonna be? That's a bit of an interesting one. I think I did.
I think
have
I've got one
few.
for you actually. I don't want to rain on your parade.
Oh, well, you mention it in a minute
Yeah.
if I come up with one
Okay.
quickly because I think a blue card that I think is underrated by people. I might be going into just cards that I enjoy, but I'm gonna go with Sanji's Pilaf.
Okay.
I just think like
good,
yeah,
isn't
it
it?
costs 3, so you don't play it early. But
Yeah.
late game, well, you smack that down. You just
Sometimes
draw
you do
2
play it
cards.
early. Some decks are running it in Saka, right?
Yeah,
Just to get
yeah.
some value, because there's turns where you want to do nothing.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely. I mean, I've been testing Lucci a lot.
Yeah.
And if Lucci had a 3-cost draw 2, I'd be playing it all
Yeah.
day.
I
I'd be playing
thought
it all day.
you were going to say, and it's a card I don't really like, the 3-cost new Doflamingo.
Oh yeah,
Because
I
I-
still do love that card because
Yeah.
of the combos that I think you can do in your head that I imagine, but I haven't been playing it in my
Yeah.
list. I
That's
do
fair.
think it just
But I just,
Doesn't
as
do
soon as it got revealed, you were like, yes, this is
Yeah,
amazing.
totally, yeah.
So I think, yeah, I can
Yeah.
catch people off guard. If
And
you
I
just
think
flood your board,
maybe in a different format, in a more starve orientated format,
Yeah.
that is the card that
like
we play
Centenario, innit?
because I don't want to hit my opponent
Yeah.
to trigger my guys.
Yeah.
But if I can just slap him down
Yeah.
and then trigger my guys without attacking and not hitting their life, that would be great.
That would be nice.
What about
Purple.
Purple. Oh, an underrated card in purple.
Oh.
You know, you go first. Oh no,
I
you
went
went
first
first.
all the other
All right,
time,
well I'm
so
gonna go.
slow
I'm
to
gonna
the
go
ball.
easy peasy. 10 cost Gear 5 Luffy.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible.
I've lost so many games to that.
I
card.
think people possibly overrate it, but a lot of people don't think about it when they're playing in a game. And when your opponent's at 1 life, you slap that down, and you're like, you better have an answer.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have any blockers on the board, you're probably going to lose next turn.
Yeah.
Like, time walking is such a powerful mechanic, and it's the only way to do it right now in One Piece. So, yeah, that's my pick, the 10 cost Gear 5 Luffy.
Blast Breath.
Okay, yeah, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, an unconditional Rad Beam.
It's at any point, and I think like when we had Pluffy, we saw some lists running it, some not, because the Don -1 is quite a cost.
Can be.
But
Yeah.
in that format, it was 05 format.
Yeah.
I won so many games because I had one up and my opponent just thought I attacked badly.
Yeah.
Like, I'd leave one up and my opponent thought I had one and swing for like 9Ks, and I'd go, okay.
Yeah, okay,
Take it.
But you can't win now because I actually have you can only do 2 attacks
Yeah,
now.
I
And
have
I
a
have a
7-card
hand full of
hand.
nothing.
With 6 2Ks and no blast breath.
Yeah.
So it's like, I really enjoy it. I have always enjoyed that card.
I mean, I just enjoy like events in that
Yeah.
space because you leave Don open and people go, ooh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's like in Nami when you leave the 3 open, you think you've got the, what's it called, the blink.
Wink.
Death Wink, yeah. And then you go, oh no, I don't have it.
Yeah.
I've got 2 and a 1 costs. Blah, blah, blah. And you catch people off guard because they attack for like 11 and you go, okay.
So we got green next, right?
Yeah. One of my favourite colours at the
One of your
moment.
favourite colours at the moment. So I'm going to go maybe like a retroactively underrated card because I think the way the decks have been built recently, people have seen the value of this card. But I'm going to go with the Rosinante blocker.
You
The
go with
little
that.
one. Yeah.
I think it's just good. I'm going to veto that.
Oh!
You need to give me another one because I think that's just good. I think it's known to be good and it's always
Do you
been
think
ran.
do you think it was known to be good when it was first revealed?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well,
It was
you
ran
can
straight
veto,
away.
you can veto that one. Answer the question, and I'll have a little think on another
I
card.
want 2.
Take 2 then.
I
Take
love
2
it.
because it gives me more
What's
time to think.
the Birdcage?
Birdcage, yeah.
And now,
100%.
I think it's only because I think it, like, you look at it and you go, this card's insane, and then you see the deck never win, right? You see the deck never top. But I think we'll get to formats like we are with RP Law. Right now, they've got too many rush things to get around anyway. But you go, your entire deck is rested.
Yeah.
And you go, oh. And if it just had something else that, like, stunned a bit sooner, so you didn't just get Unga Bungaed immediately, I think that would be really insane.
Or like a sort of high-end Don Minor so that fits in the archetype.
Yeah.
Because right now they're playing like Bullet and the 7-cost kid to try and get to that stage. But if they just had like a big purple Doflamingo who like, I don't know, rested guys
On play, rest all your opponent's board.
No, your opponent's turn when they play a card.
Rest it. Like
-1,
Sugar.
like Sugar, but huge. So you can't just because Sugar, you just play something small, it gets rested, and you pop over it. That's a good one, Birdcage. You got another one? While I'm thinking.
I want to say Hody Jones.
But it's not underrated.
No, it isn't now.
You know what?
But I'm going to say it because when it first came out, it was just kind of bad.
I also think that I'm gonna let you have this one because I think it's a card that kind of exists in a weird space because it's like because it's a green staple.
Yeah.
It doesn't immediately jump to your mind when you play against green. You think about like you think about the kids. You think about the.
There's so many.
Like
I could go forever with green. I love green.
Barney.
I'll stay to 2. Your choice, go.
But my choice.
You've got to say one.
Underrated card. You know what? I'm gonna go the Joe McGee signature underrated card because I underrated this card and it cost me many a game when we were testing. Basil Hawkins.
I was going to say Basil Hawkins.
New Basil Hawkins from OP07
Nuts, innit?
is terrifying.
But also, it's terrible because some decks just go attack, remove, and you go, okay, I played a 6/7 blocker for no reason.
As a black main, it's an unstoppable wall.
Unless you have the event, and that's when it's good. So I agree with that because it's like I look at it and I go, this is great, and then I play some games and I go, I just wasted a turn. Well, I got value, so I agree with that. Let's move on from green because I was thinking the other Basil Hawkins, the one that used to be ran in Law, that like when it attacks a character, it restands.
Oh yeah, that's a good
and
one.
And then we'll get into too much green. What colours are we missing?
We've got red and black still to go.
Red and black. Let's do red.
Okay, red. Underrated card in red.
I'm going to go 10-cost Shanks.
Yeah, the one that just carries a guy.
Yeah, because it came out and like just a format where red isn't strong.
Yeah, I think because it's got the film tag, people just immediately disregarded it.
And put it in Uta, instead of putting it in like any of the solid decks. Like they look at, because we've got a high end, like the 9-cost Edward Newgate as well, it's difficult to put other big cards in. But I do think it's just a card that says like on play, you lose a lot of tempo and I gain an abundance of tempo. And that's, I think, what 10 costs should do.
If you're spending your entire turn to do something, it should.
It should be. It should bang. Yeah. You should put it down, and then your opponent goes, "Ooh, sugar." So yeah, that's my choice.
Okay, so my red choice. I'm just trying to think of like older red cards. I think that probably. Maybe I'm cheating, but cards that like were good but have now fallen off for like newer players and newer viewers. I'm gonna go with Red Hawk.
Ooh.
Red Hawk in OPO2 and even OPO3. When you swung in and they had 2 Don open, and you didn't account for the Red Hawk, you could lose so much board presence.
Especially because we had smaller characters back then, right? Where you actually just go bang, and you.
But it KO'd like a 4K.
Yeah.
So it's just like even then you're just like my like medium guy is just donezo.
What deck was running Crossfire and that? Was it?
Wasn't it Zorro?
Zorro, but I think it was Newgate as well.
Yeah, maybe. Or Ace.
Maybe Ace even, but like you just go like reduce that, and then the next you'd go counter that, KO that guy, ha ha ha. Which is pretty good. There's loads of red as well where I want to get into. All of the Don manipulation cards, like the Nami, the Haruta, Chakra.
The ones we talked about last time.
The new Ezo that just came out, the 5/7 with no counter.
Yes.
I think that's a really, really strong card. And we just haven't seen anything because we're in a removal heavy format. But like,
I'm looking forward to those EBO1 leaders getting a push in the future when the meta settles down and we move away from like black removal.
Yeah.
Speaking of black, let's go to our last colour and just talk about that.
Gecko Mutton.
Well, you're gonna laugh, but my answer is pretty similar.
Card.
My answer, I'll go with my answer because I've had this locked all day.
Okay.
8-cost Sabo.
Yeah.
Because to crib from my man Breadsword, it is underrated as I see it. The top rung. I think it is one of the best black cards ever.
I think so as well.
And people are just like, yeah, it's a 2 of. Yeah, I like it. I'm like, no. What do you
It's just
mean?
free.
What do you
Yeah.
mean? It's insane.
It
It's
is really
so
strong.
good. It's so good in this format.
So good. I agree, man.
So let's move on to black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my underrated black card is, I want 2 again. No, it's 5-cost Garp.
Yeah.
The one that rests and reduces.
Is that no rest and
And
KOs?
KOs, sorry.
Is that to deal with Basil Hawkins?
Ooh.
I was thinking about teching it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was
I've
thinking
always
about
liked
taking
it,
Yeah.
honestly, because like it's a card that does what you need to do in
Do you
black decks.
discard?
I don't think so. I think he just rests himself.
Yeah, I
And he's
can't
like a
remember.
5/6 or something,
I
isn't
can't
he?
remember if you do discard or not, if you just rest.
I think he just rests.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
we'll find out.
Here's the picture of the card right here. And then also, as a caveat, a very similar card, Kobe, the 4-cost man.
Yeah.
The baby
Yeah,
Kobe.
the baby Kobe, yeah.
Yeah, it's a trash 1 card from your hand, rest this character, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less.
That's still really good though, I think.
I think it's
That's
nice.
the
I
guard,
miss black having the archetype of like discard. We talked very early on about how I would love to see more black cards that say like when discarded, draw a card.
I
or
would
when
like that too,
discarded,
but I'm terrified
reduce
of it
something from
being
your
a
opponent.
case.
Yeah, but I would.
Imagine like pitching these cards, getting advantage off them, popping a guy, and then Moriering them back.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
I'd
But
love to
maybe
see
we'll
that.
touch on that
Yeah.
in
It'd
a
be cool.
bit.
But then you've got to have them, you've got to see the combos. But yeah, those are my cards. I like these more old school, actually having a cost to do things.
Me too. Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So that was cool, wasn't it? We got a couple more questions. We'll try and get through them a little bit quicker. What's the next question?
Yeah, next question is from Luke. Of the newly revealed OPO9 leaders, which is your favourite?
So just in a vacuum, off the bat, looking at them, you
I
must
can't
know
remember
some
them.
of them.
I know.
So we have the
who's
Blackbeard.
Bad deck.
No, I think Blackbeard's going to be great. So
I
there's
think
my
it's gonna be
answer
terrible.
before we even get in. I think Blackbeard's going to be great. I haven't seen the new cards for it. We've got a yellow purple Robin,
Okay.
and
the
she has
Lakers one.
Banish. She has
Oh,
Banish
yeah.
naturally and
That
then
one.
ramps.
I don't even care
Yeah.
about the ramp.
The other 4 can do one.
Yeah.
The
That one.
Shanks and the Buggy got revealed today.
Mhm.
So the Shanks, when your opponent attacks, you can just reduce the
Oh, yeah,
power
I've
by
seen
a
them.
K. And then Buggy
Which is heartbreaking, by the way, because I didn't think that Shanks was once per turn. I thought it was just when you attacked, and I was
Yeah,
like,
no, it's
that's
once
actually
per-
going to be underrated. That's
yeah,
cool.
it's
And then it
once
says
per
once per turn.
turn.
I was like, oh, cool. It's just a really bad Bonnie.
yeah,
Sick.
maybe.
Love that.
Have you got them up?
I mean, Buggies is you need to rest 5 of your Don, trash a card, and you can play any cross guild card.
Is there any cross
It
guild
says
card?
any cross
See,
guild
that
card.
would be good.
But yeah, but at the same time, it's top 5, discard 2, play a card, basically.
Yeah, but if you're playing a 9 cost,
I don't know what the cross guild cards are.
there
so-
aren't any.
They
But
haven't
that,
revealed
that's
yet,
that's
so
why
there
like
you
this
go.
question is more like fun and really.
Can it attack?
Yes.
Okay, so we're not stuck in iceberg
No.
territory then. Yeah, it's cool, I
Yeah.
guess. It's alright.
And
Might be cool.
There's the black purple Luffy as well.
Don't know what it does.
I can't remember what it does. either.
Black, purple, Luffy. There's the one I have got up for you is the green, purple Limb, which is from the Odyssey game.
Oh yeah. Fuck that. There's not enough. There can never be enough cards in the pool, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's activate main once per turn. You may rest 3 of your Dons, set up to 1 Don from your deck as rested, then play a 5 cost or lower Odyssey type character from your hand. So
That's
very
good.
limited.
How-
I haven't seen any Odyssey cards.
that's what I mean.
Because they're all going
Can
to
it
be locked
attack?
into OPO9.
Yeah,
One second. I don't know. There's some text here because it's still in Japanese. Your characters enter play as rested. It's worse than you can't attack.
that's not great. That's not great. So,
Because I was sat here thinking, that's actually pretty
so,
good, dude.
so there's our answers, guys. I think Blackbeard's going to be cool, and Key's a big fan of banishing your cards.
Only because you've seen Yamato and you go, ooh, double attack's really scary. Banish is 1,000 times more broken than double attack, by
True.
the way.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
in Yamato, you're putting a clock where you must beat your opponent fast. With a Banish leader, you just go, I can take this as slow as I want,
Yeah.
baby.
And
'Cause
every
it
time
doesn't
I
matter-
hit you,
yeah.
those cards just mean nothing.
Yeah.
You better be playing black.
It's like either you counter or You lose a card.
So you lose a card either way.
So we get more cards that say banish or more things that just do anything to benefit that in any way. I don't know, maybe give the leader ramp. Oh, it has ramp built in. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So imagine playing against, what is it, purple yellow, did you say?
It is purple.
But you're playing against purple, which is still removing all your things, ramping, playing these new really big cards that we've got, and also for a laugh has banish built in.
Oh, and heals.
And heals.
Because it plays 10 cost ace.
Yeah, I think it's going to be insane,
Yeah.
honestly.
I'm excited for
I hate
Do you want to
Blackbeard.
hear about the Luffy?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so it's put one Don. Your characters have +1 cost, so that's like a new mechanic in the West Jet. During your turn, when 2 or more Don cards are returned to your Don deck from play, set up to 1 from your Don deck as active and 1 from your Don deck as rested.
I saw this and I really liked
that. Yeah, I
it.
think it's pretty cool.
I don't change my answer because I think the Robin is going to be really strong, but I think I'll play the Luffy more than I'd play the Robin
Yeah.
because it's going to be more combo based. It just reminds me of Purple Luffy, but without killing yourself, which is always a benefit in life.
And with access to black cards.
And oh yeah, I've changed my answer. I think the Robin is broken, but I think that Luffy is going to be very tasty.
Best deck in the format, maybe?
Luffy?
Hmm?
No, I think Robin will be.
Oh, okay.
Worst deck in the format? Probably one of those one, but Blackbeard as well.
I think Blackbeard's going to ruin people's days.
I think Blackbeard is going to be tier 2 at best.
We'll see when we get there.
A card literally says, by the way, you can't play any of the good cards in your colour. And you go, oh, okay, cool.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
We're talking about all these leaders that are becoming like finicky and that. You have to play all, and you said, oh, all these new characters, but all the new characters are just watered down on play versions of other good cards. I don't care if I
Your
don't get
opponent can't use on players.
only if you discard a card from your
I'll
hand.
discard it. I'll do it every turn.
How are you affording to do that? Because you don't have any way to get drawback because you're playing only black.
Yeah, okay.
You're playing...
Wait, time will tell. I do think time will tell. I don't want to get into the weeds on this because this was a small question.
No, I will stand my ground right here.
Cool. We'll be
If
back.
I'm wrong,
We'll be back in 6 months.
If I'm wrong and Blackbeard is good, I will eat a hat.
I've got a lot of hats from
You do have a lot of hats. No,
Okay.
I'll play it for the entire format and be depressed. I love discarding a card. Just my opponent just goes, okay, attack for 7, and I go, haha, uh-oh. Good job I discarded that card that had the counter. It's poo.
Okay.
Unless we get a big Blackbeard that says you win the game.
Oh, let's get a big Blackbeard that says activate
It's covered.
main, bring your guys back.
We haven't seen all the cards yet, so
Yeah.
I'm just saying right now, it's bad. Okay.
And we got one more question from our local players.
We do, from Callum. Which character in the show would you want as a leader or a character?
I'm trying to think. I think a lot of them have had like characters and leaders, right?
Yeah.
I would like to see. I'd like to see a Dory and Broggy leader, like a Dory and Broggy starter deck leader with a Giants, and I think they would be blue and purple. Because purple is ramp and it's big, and then blue just needs a few more identities.
I want to see the One Piece so that I can understand what it is for one, but also I want a card that says like, I want it to be a Don and it says tap for 2 Don.
Okay, yeah.
And then
And that is.
I
the
want
One
it to
Piece.
say, yeah, tap for 2 Don, put this at the bottom of your Don deck.
Ooh.
That's what I wanna
very
see.
balanced.
I want to see that, and then you go, ooh. And then, or something where it goes like tap for 2 Don, put it at the bottom of your Don deck, you only get 1 Don at the start of your next Don phase. Or something, like...
Yeah, something where you get to like
It's like pseudo-ramp.
accelerate in one turn.
I
but
wanna
then
see-
you kind of
yeah.
adjust. Yeah.
But then link it to, obviously, what the entire show is about, and Treasure in One Piece or something like that. I would
Treasure
that'd be cool. Yeah.
Before we move on to our topic, our next topic, the kind of sort of bigger topic of the podcast, you got any cheeky questions for me? And I got any cheeky questions for you?
That's a good question. If you could take any deck in the entire history of the game right now and make it tier 1, what would it be?
Any deck. In the
Any
history of the
deck.
game. How am I doing that? Like through support or through like a
Sure.
twist of the meta?
Just like what's the deck that you've had the most fun with playing competitively and like that
Red,
you'd want
Green,
to see?
Law. I
Red-
want Red Green Law to come back.
Yeah.
Like I know like a lot of people complained about it when it was one of the best decks.
I hated it.
But the fact that like black has been so
Yeah.
omnipresent for so long, red purple law really just been
Yeah, it has.
red green law has been so
Yeah.
out of touch. Like you can't play that game plan when Lucci exists.
What would you do to make it good?
Ban Lucci.
Happy days.
And a question for you. I'm going to go with like a reverse question. What's your least favourite deck that you play competitively?
Where do I begin? A lot of them, honestly.
If you had to pick one, the first one, if you close your eyes, it just goes bam, straight there. That you played it and you did not enjoy it.
What did I play? What have I played? Let's see some ideas. I can't remember what I played. Didn't mind Zoro. Loved Crocs so much.
Sakazuki,
Hated
Katakuri.
Katakuri. Saka, I had a love-hate relationship with Saka. I hated having to play it, but I was good with it. So it was like a two-headed fork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult because it's like a lot of the time I'll play the deck and I'll be like, this is miserable. But at the end of the day,
I
I'm like,
won, so I'm happy.
do you know what? I'll say actually Enel.
Yeah, cool.
I hate Enel.
Yeah, I do not
It's
like
my
playing
least
it
favorite
now.
deck.
Yeah.
I hate playing it and I hate playing against it.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think it's such bad card game design.
Yeah.
I think it's so terrible and you get punished so
And I
easily
think
for
like
playing
sometimes you're just like, oh, well, this is the turn,
Yeah.
and you go for it, and they go, haha, don't lose the game trigger, and
Yeah.
you go, I've lost now because I committed, and I had to commit because it was the mathematically correct time to commit, and you just got a beige off the top of your deck.
Yeah. But also it's like to play it good, which you do have to be good to play the deck. I'm not belittling that in any way. But to play it good is like, which card am I playing at this time? What triggers did I get from that? Like, and it's a different type of resource management that I just don't
It's
enjoy.
like kind of playing on the
I don't
fly
like that.
adapting, isn't it?
I you know me, I like to pre-plan everything. I like to know what's going on a few turns ahead. So
Really
it's like,
don't know you could.
and I can't do that with an L. I don't feel. Drop three aces, pray. Not for me.
So why don't you play Nami? Literally planning ahead the entire time.
Why does he do this to us?
I just
He's like, he's helpful.
You're gonna make
and
me
he's-
say some
he's
like hate
becoming
words.
our friend, and then he
Yeah.
comes in with this like,
I hate Nami too. To be fair,
yeah, I don't like Nami. It's just boring and bad.
That's
I think
it.
it's bad. That's the worst part.
I'm
I
playing
just think
solitaire.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like about it. It's not One Piece. I'm not playing One
Was
Piece.
that your question? Was it? You can have
Yeah,
that
that
one as
was
a
mine.
question. So let's move on to the ban list. I don't know if Tom, have you got the date up? Because we've recently had. I'll fill space while you search. We've recently had the announcement in Japan that
August.
OP09 we will be getting a ban list.
Is it not OP08 for
No, they've got OP08.
Okaka?
That's when RP Law is at this like kind of like over-representation. And as of OP09, they will be releasing a ban list. I think that we have a specific date when it's announced, and then a specific date when it's coming in. But while Tom's looking for the date, we'll just talk about if we can kind of cast our minds forward.
What do you think's going to get banned?
I think they're going to have to do something about Law. I think they're going to have to do something about Black.
Yeah.
I
The
think
end.
we also might see something weird like we saw with Reject. Because obviously Reject was a nutty card that needed to get hit.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was really on everybody's radar.
Let's start it with what. Give me 2 cards that you think will get banned, or limited, or whatever.
Yeah, let's not get into like the weeds of like whether they'll ban it or
No,
not
no.
or whatever. I want to see Kid Killer.
Really?
I think Kid Killer is a massive card in
Okay.
Law. I think it's what allows them to make those like pushes when they've got like a little Don.
Yeah.
Like, because if you're removing their Black Marias, removing their puddings, and they can't get like that kind of stupid return of Don going, they can just go, haha, slap you for 10.
Yeah.
So I think Kid Killer, and I'm gonna like join your team. I'm gonna say I want to see one of these like option limits on
Yeah.
Black Maria.
Yeah.
I
think
want
that's just
Black
it, yeah.
Maria to exist. I love that card. I don't want Law to be able to play it.
Yeah.
So they're going to announce the ban list on the 12th of August.
Okay.
Right.
So don't know when it comes into play,
Mhm.
but that's when they're going to announce it. Usually they give a good couple of like a month or two.
Yeah.
So we estimate it's going to come in for us around OP9
Yeah.
is when we're going to get that the restrictions in.
Yeah. So we'll know about it August 12th.
Yeah, we'll know what's
If-
coming.
Perhaps. Yeah.
We'll know what's coming. We may not know the specific date in the West.
Yeah.
It's not global
Yeah.
ban. They'll do JP and then they'll do us.
Yeah. So
I-
so do you
Same-
want to talk
same-
about
yeah.
Red Purple Law again?
So RP Law, the only thing I want, I hate the fact that it has access to Reiju, but I don't think it should be banned because I think that's just very crippling for other decks.
Yeah.
The choice restrict that you just mentioned
For
with
Black
the
Maria.
Black Maria, I think it should be you can either run RP Law as a leader or you can run copies of Black Maria, for
Yeah.
example, or something along the lines of that.
Or
Bushiroad
maybe
do
just-
that all the
I
time.
don't know how erratering is going to work, but maybe they could errata Black Maria so it's leader locked to Animal Kingdom.
Maybe. I think
But it's also really
don't like-
good
I
in
don't-
red purple Luffy. I want to try it in that deck.
Yeah,
You know, it's
that's
it's,
my
it's a
point. I
difficult
think
one.
just leader
Yeah.
lock it, or in
there's-
reality, I think they're going to ban RP Law.
They're the elephant in the room.
I
yeah,
think they're just
they'll
going to ban the
do what
leader.
they did.
And then the only other card that I actually genuinely want to see go, and it hurts to say because I've run it on a lot of my decks, is Moria.
Yeah, Moria has to go. I
We've
think.
known it's been broken
Yeah,
since
I
they
think it's
first
just-
revealed it.
It's beginning to limit design space.
So
in the
much
colour.
because it's like it's just gone barbarically too much. Like you look at what Lucci can do with it, and you can play 4 cards from 1 card. Like you just go, it's
bro.
insane. Like you're just going Moria into Rebecca into something. I don't care.
With that, could
Rebecca
we
spam
see
them,
Rebecca
play.
go?
No,
No.
because I think Moria's the fact. Like
I
I
think,
think
yeah.
it's fine that you can go Rebecca Spandam do the things. I think that's a cool.
Yeah, me too.
Happy days.
Because I've done that
Phenomenal.
on like turn 5 Dawn plays where I've used the 1 cost to reduce Tempest Kick, and then I've played the Rebecca, bring up a Spanda and bring up a,
Yeah, Lucci.
and then you feel good about that, and you feel like I'm smart. I did that combo.
And like I don't want to kill Lucci.
No.
But I think you just said the best words there, which is that you're limiting design space. We just had an 8-cost Sabo come out that if
Yeah,
in
the people
vacuum-
aren't
if
playing
Moria
because
wasn't a
Moria
card,
exists.
you'd go, this card is broken.
Yeah.
Because you go Tempest Kick, or you go Ice Age, and you get to kill an 8-cost and like a 5-cost straight away.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And like the fact that people are running it as a 2 of because we have access to this Moria, again, that does that combo that I just mentioned.
Some people aren't even running it because they're playing Isho and they don't want the space.
Exactly.
And they're just like that.
So it's like, I think it just needs to go. It's had its time. It's uncool. And I have 4 alt arts of it, but I'd still happily see it go. I'll lose that 100 and whatever pounds.
He's got cool scissors. You can look at that picture for a while. You know what I mean?
He does.
So I think those are bands that we actually think are going to happen.
Hmm.
Do you have any wild bands that you would like to see? Or again, band limits, whichever. We're not a design team.
Pudding.
Blue Pudding.
I hate it. Terrible card design.
I think it's very powerful.
I think it's just terrible card design. You punish your opponent for playing well.
Yeah. But do you not think it's a check to some? Even saying that, I think, but do those decks not deserve it? Like, does a deck like Perona, which establishes no board, not deserve an 11-card hand? So it's like,
That's
yeah, you
what I
can
mean.
have a huge hand, but you bought. Yeah, you know what? Maybe you're right. I think I would like to see that Pudding. Maybe it would have to be banned though, because it
It's
couldn't
so
be
bad.
put to 1.
No, it's just like I've never felt good about being pudding.
Yeah, and I think when it first came out, it wasn't a problem.
No.
But this OPO7, this format, it felt like a problem.
I think so. I think it's just like
And also, I think, sorry, I keep interrupting you.
no, it's cool.
It existing means that like people will always be worried about blue, and then does that mean that Bandai will always underpower blue, because you can't have a good blue deck if you have a card like Pudding?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No,
Like,
it does, and I think
so. I think I'd rather have good blue decks than have a way to just
yeah.
fucking.
You said the best
ruin
words
my
before
opponent's
again about like limiting card design,
space, yeah.
and like I think pudding just does.
Yeah, I just-
Because it's like I can't play against Dofi and just focus on like I can't go for game or clear board or any of that, because then I just get
At
you
some
know
point
like
they
I
might
just get
win,
puddinged,
yeah.
and like I've built up this big wall to be able to like slow them down, and they go you know, so it's okay, cool, I feel great.
What else? Do I have a card? I do actually. Yeah, and I mean I'm a like a black Andy, but I think 5-cost Sabo.
Yeah, you've said that a few times actually.
Yeah, and I think obviously we're seeing different ways of removal that's not just KO.
Yeah.
And if we move away from a black format where KOing isn't like the most prevalent way of removing, it might not be as much of a problem. But like sometimes I've had games where you play like Moriamers or Sakazuki, and you just like Sabo, you Sabo, me Sabo, and you're just like, well, who? It's getting to a point now where like this card becomes a problem, and then with, you know, it hasn't done anything in Japan.
No.
But when King was announced, the Black Purple King, and when they announced the purple Kaido Linlin character, and I went, oh my god, if you play that, and then the next turn you play a Sabo and you protect your whole board, and then you swing and you KO everything on the board, that's insane. Like,
I think it should be limited. I wouldn't ban it, I would put it at 2.
yeah, just like,
So you can't do those back to back to back to back.
yeah,
And
you
I
have
think
to
that's
maybe
what's
play
toxic.
like Rebecca's,
Yeah.
and Rebecca does take up 4 Don of that turn, which
Yeah.
then means you only have 1 Don
Exactly.
to really play with.
And we keep saying limiting
Yeah.
design space, but it does.
I think
like-
it does, yeah.
Like I'm playing, like obviously I'm playing BY Luffy right now, and you're gonna play 4 on that because that's what the deck does, and that would be one
And
where
I
I'd go.
play 3 on Lucci just because the deck's so tight.
But that's what I mean is it's like
I would
some
play
Lucci-
4
yeah.
if
but like just a 2 so that like you reduce the consistency. You're still going to be able to grab it from your Rebecca's, do those combos. I think it's that big a problem in general, but I do sometimes think there's turns where you just go, I cannot do anything because my opponent done this, especially in like a Black Mirror.
Yeah.
I think it's a card that in my mind would be perfect if we had sideboards, but we don't. So
Yeah.
I don't want sideboards, but I'm saying like that's the kind of card where I'd
Sideboards
go.
kind of come with a game 2 and 3, and I don't know if
I
the
don't
game
want
is
best
built
of
for
3.
that. No.
I'm going to say one for green, and it might shock you, but I've always hated this card, ACOS Kid. I hate it so much. I think it
I think it funnels deck,
I hate it.
doesn't it? See, my green one would be Dofi. I'd want to see 2 Dofi.
The 10 costs.
Yeah, I don't want you to have 4. I don't want you to go Dofi on me.
Yeah, I get that.
Like,
It does
so
feel
if you
bad.
only have 2, you're probably only going to hit 1 in a game.
Yeah.
And if you're not, you're using baby 5s to search, and that means that earlier in the game I've been able to get a foothold on the board while you've been searching for them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I get that. The ACOS Kid for me, again, it just turns the game into something
Boring.
That's it. It's
boring,
just boring.
It's
Like-
like, oh, you got a big hand, you've got a
Luigi.
Rosinante and a Kid,
Yeah.
and yeah, I have to figure out a way to deal with it. Oh, look, I've got bottom
Yeah.
deck removal, and now
Mhm.
you'll like you. And it turns matchups into very dice rolling.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you're playing blue and you have a way to remove
Did I have my out for it?
through bottom decking,
I
you
just
just
don't like
you
it.
just laugh at it.
I don't think it
Whereas
will
if-
get hit. It's just a
No.
card that I've never enjoyed playing or playing against. And like I've been playing Bonnie, and I tried to run the 8-cost Rosinante instead of it that much because I just hate it. But you just can't because it's too good.
Yeah. Are
So
we
it's
are we
like-
over 10 drop, Mum? Has the community
Yeah.
grown up? Are
I
we
think
just
so.
like, whatever, it wasn't actually that big of a problem?
Yeah. Because we've got more 5-life leaders now, or leaders that say, "Haha, you're playing Katakuri. What are you doing?
Bro, what are you
Or what are you actually going to do against RP Law? Like, now that you've lost it, reject as well." And they just go 5, 6 times, and you go, "Ha ha! 10
You're
cost mom."
looking at your 5 fucking boss monsters in their car, and you're like, oh, I'm lost.
Good job. Cool.
Yeah, anything else on the ban list before we sign off and say goodbye?
What colours have we covered? I don't think this is it.
Yeah, because I don't think we need to hit things from every
Anything
colour.
for
I
red?
just think there are because what's red doing?
Yeah.
And I don't think even
Living its best life.
if we ban some of these cards, I don't think red will appear as this like scary Goliath.
Please.
That's why I want
wanna
it.
play Dragon.
That's why I want to just maybe touch 10 cost Dofi, because if we did hit all these black cards, I could see Bonnie sliding in as one of the better decks.
Yeah.
And if she's got 10 costs, I know you're happy about it now, but you won't be when you're playing mirrors.
I'm not happy when I'm playing mirrors now anyway.
That's what I mean.
You have to put a Zora down
Yeah.
and go.
You're gonna have to
have it
you're gonna
now.
have to do one today against Mr. Bates.
I'm not playing Bonnie.
Oh, you're not good. Thank
I'm
God.
BY Luffy guy
Cool.
until I get bored of that, and then I'm Bonnie guy, and then I'm BY Luffy guy again.
And then the cycle.
Imagine
continues.
maxing out Bonnie to never play it.
Yeah, imagine
What a
that.
fucking life I live. Isn't that great?
Haven't we both done that?
Literally, just sat here crying. Anywho, I think that's us.
That's us for today. Yeah, this
Is
has
it
been
a
another
nice
good
little
one.
one? Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. We've had some really enjoyable topics this time around.
Yeah.
And yeah, leave a comment on what you think will get banned, any answers or questions that you have to ask
If
next
you've
time.
got
I'd
any
love to do a
If
Q&A.
you've got any interesting answers to some of the questions we've been asked,
Yeah.
put them down in the comments.
Yeah.
As you say, put down in the comments the cards that you think might get banned or the cards you want to see banned.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye-bye.